Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk of the Gods, episode 3. I am very happy to be here for the third episode, and we have a new addition to the family. Well, he's always been here, but now he makes his grand appearance. I'd like to introduce those that don't know, but I'm sure you do, Sinbreed. So, Sinbreed, if for those that are unfamiliar with you, tell us a little about yourself.
Okay, where to start? I started with the high-risk games. Basically, I tried Paladins, go competitive in that for a year. Did pretty well. After that, I got a little bored, found the Hand of the Gods, and basically thought it would be fun to start commentating. And here I am today.
Yeah, I mean, you and I, we've got a chance to commentate. Now, this is on Smite Prime. And please follow and like and subscribe. We're going to go to a quick break. We'll be right back. We're back. Welcome back. I'm sorry, we're having technical difficulties. I live in Louisiana, and we're undergoing a thunderstorm, which I just remembered to tell my producer Jithan about that. But we were talking to Sinbreed, and Sinbreed, we have met on Smite Prime. Please like and follow. Casting. I think you're an excellent caster. What is your favorite things about casting? Why do you like casting, or do you like casting?
No, man, I hate it. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. No, but as you said, like, we've been casting a few times, and yeah, I feel like we yelled like instantly, like we've been casting for a long time. I know I told you this, but when I got into casting, like, I'm gonna be honest. This is actually what I wrote to Adonis. Is that some of the casters before were doing some mistakes, and I basically said like to him that I think I could cast without making those mistakes.
Well, you're
So
yeah. I mean, you're very good. You're very insightful. We've talked quite a bit, but I just wanted to share it because I think that your voice is very important. I think you're very insightful. I think that you offer a lot to the cast, and therefore, I think you offer a lot to the show.
thank you,
So,
man.
yeah, no, you're part of the family. Um, so, what we're going to do is later on in the show, we're going to introduce Sinbreed Sanctum. It's kind of like his special take on things because he has a very strategic look at the game. Now, some of you may be noticing we don't have Comcast here.
Yeah, we did a small upgrade.
He said Comcast is on assignment. We have sent him to a part of America to come back with a piece, and he'll be coming back next week with some stuff. He will be here Saturday and Sunday. All of us will, and the Smite Prime family, which I'm honored to be a part of. We will be shoutcasting the high res qualifiers. So you'll see him tomorrow for those Comcast fans that are missing his presence. Okay, so let's get into it. Did you watch the Adonis interview last week?
I did, yes. It was
What'd you think of
very,
it?
very entertaining, and like the questions from Comcast were like spot on.
He's very he asks the hard hitting questions. Yeah, he's I thought he was great. Adonis was great. He was amazing. I have never met him, never talked to him before, so it was first meeting of him. Super intelligent, super fast with the answers, really insightful. It was great to have him. He did. I don't know if he did spoil Fafnir a little bit on the show.
Yeah, he
So
did.
we kind of had the first access to Fafnir, and that was really nice. And he kind of talked about cursed dragon, I should say. So I thought Adonis was great. So what did you think about? What is your opinion of Fafnir and the cursed dragon?
I think it's very interesting with the limitation it puts on like your deck building, with not to have 5 or higher mana cost in your deck, but you can put them in and have something that lowers the cost still. And yeah, it's going to be interesting if actually that becomes a meta deck and you play 4, and if you Ganesh might spike with I don't really remember the name of the pillar, but it increase all your cards in opponent's hand by 1. So I think that can be like something very interesting that we're gonna see in the future.
Wow, I didn't think about that. That is that is really, yeah. So is it pillar? It's not pillar of life, right? I'm trying to think of the name of
No,
the
uh,
no, but I know what you're talking about. So it does increase the so therefore, if Fafnir has hit the board, you could literally yeah, that's interesting. I like Fafnir. I like the mythology of Fafnir. I'm a huge Hobbit fan, so to me it brings me back to memories of Thorn Oakenshield and Smaug. Although I know it's a little different, but still that greedy dragon Fafnir. Are you familiar with the mythology behind Fafnir?
not quite. No, I'm not that into Smite, and I don't really keep up with like the competitive scene or anything of that. But I'm like a little bit, but not that much.
Well, that's
Like the one
perfect. I'm actually glad. I was really hoping you said so that in the audience I could tell. So basically, Fafnir was a dwarf that coveted gold, and then he had a curse put on him, and therefore he became a cursed dragon. So it became the dragon, or in a lot of fantasy archetypes, you hear of like dragons covet gold and treasure. Well, that started from Fafnir, Norse mythology, and then later on, Fafnir the dragon was slain by Sigmund. So a little bit, and for me personally, that's what I love about Smite. That's what I love mythology. Just studied it, love it. Um, so I thought it was a cool story. And then I think the effects. You have a greedy dwarf in Fafnir, so therefore you have lower cost stuff. A lot of lower cost stuff. You can't go too high for the curse, and then the cursed dragon comes in and basically puts that poison row down. Um, I'm a huge fan of Fafnir. I think it adds a lot to Norse. There's been a lot of heated debate over it. Um, so are you thinking it's too much? You think it's in the right place? Should it be increased? What are you thinking about it?
I think it's going to be in a good place. Like we're seeing a decrease in aggro Norse and increase in like a beast war. for the aggressive slot right now. So I think with Fafnir coming into the thing, we might have two really good aggressive decks. But at the same time, Fafnir wasn't, in my opinion, and like you're going to have answers to him after the turn, or if you save your mana potion, for example, like you're going to have answers. It's not just gonna hit you 3 times and like you couldn't do anything. It's still going to be able to be removed from the board.
I agree. I was my thought was a 3 cost 5/5. Just just taking those look at those stats. I don't think is that overwhelming. I think it's a good card, but I think the downside of it not having like Loki, for example, I think is a pretty good. I mean, I don't think it's that overpowered, but a lot of people are really complaining about this card, and I just don't see it as a. I don't see it as. I think it's a really nice addition, and excuse me, I personally like decks like. Are you familiar with Highlander decks? They talked about it in the dev stream a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of like decks that a card or a couple of cards makes you build an archetype around that card, like makes you build a deck solely for that. So Fafnir is a good example for me.
Yeah, I mean, Zeus has this as well with Poseidon, for example, and
Yes.
we've seen a resurgence from Zeus as well with this patch. So I think what Hi-Rez is doing with this game is just moving forward. There's some small things, but like they're going to fix them eventually. I'm 100% sure about that.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. So Cursed Dragon. What do you think about Cursed Dragon? We have a guest appearance.
Yeah, it's a really cute one as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the dragon. I think it's a very, very interesting card because this is going to be very skill intensive. I think in what part of the grid system are you going to put the curse or the poison trail? Because your units can also be, if you put it in front of your opponent's summoning stone, you can't really have something play it, move forward, attack the stone, unless you want it to get poisoned. So it's going to be very interesting to see how players play with it. And one thing also, I'm really excited to see what Kenny can do with this card because I think like mid or control Norse might come back.
Yeah. Where? What? Yeah. So I agree. What do you think about the body, the stats? Just taking it away from the ability that it brings. What about the stats of it? You think it's good? You think it needs to be a little less, a little higher?
Was a 5/5, right?
Yeah.
If I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a good stat to start out with and see like what if you need to maybe make it a 5/6 or maybe a 4/6 or something like that. But like that's only time will tell. Like usually they're going to do that in like 2 patches after release if they think that it needs some fixing or something like that. So in my opinion, it's like Fafnir. It's a good card, not overpowered until we're basically some of the pros prove it to us.
There you go. Good analysis. Okay, so one of the things I definitely want to talk about is the gauntlet. Matter of fact, you and I had an exchange, not in a bad one, it sounds really bad. You and I had a nice conversation on Twitter with Scott Gandhi about this, as a matter of fact. So you want to kind of set the stage for us on that?
Okay, so this started with me losing my, I think I had 6 wins or something like that, and I got a little salty about it. I drew a bad hand and I lost because of it, so I wanted it to have at least maybe 2 to 3 losses before you get kicked out. But Gandhi has a really nice reply. Basically, if that would happen, we would just have arena. And I was like, yeah, I feel like a douchebag. And I understood exactly like what he meant, and it was like, yeah, you're right. I take back what I said. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, yeah, it was a very it was a very good response. I love the gauntlet. I love it, love it. I have not had great success on it. Doesn't impede my love for it. I think it's great. I love the fact that you're one loss and you're out. And he also did say something that was interesting because it is such a fun thing and it is such a fun game. Oh, excuse me, and it is so intense that maybe instead of a 24-hour cooldown, they were looking at a 12-hour unlock cycle for the when you lose. So
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea because it's very hard to go 18-0. And believe me, when you get up to the 6th win after that, you're a little bit nervous because there's still like a really cool avatar for you, even though the favor and card packs doesn't mean that much. You want that avatar.
Oh yeah, the cutesy avatars. I think I love. For me, there's another card game out there that one of the things that I played I played a lot of physical card games. And then so the CCGs online, I was thinking, what is it we're gonna offer you? But I'm a big like reward type person, so like banners or card backs or anything like that to me is motivation. So they speak to like, okay, here they're just gonna throw out all these great things you can achieve, makes you feel good, makes you want to play, and the best thing of all is it's free. So
Definitely, yeah, I
why
totally agree
not?
with
Yeah, why
100%.
not? So in the gauntlet you played. Matter of fact, for these of you watching, go to Twitter, Sinbreed90 on Twitter, and he went ahead and posted just before the show today. He posted a link to a deck you made in the Battle of the Gods gauntlet.
Yeah, so today I played a bit after I got back from school. I played a few games. I got 4 or 5 wins, I think. And then, like, I came back. Actually, played some more after I came back from my Magic the Gathering Friday Night Magic tournament. So I managed to go 8 wins with Raw, and let me tell you, my 7th win was intense. It was so intense that if I get my opponent to spawn the Bastet Cat in the wrong tile, I lose the game. Or if I do the right, I might come back. And it was so intense. I was sweating afterwards. I was so happy with that win. But then I had to win another one. And then I came across Brivlis, which is a very, very good player, but his draw wasn't as good, so I stomped him. Yeah.
Yeah. My success. I think your raw. By the way, I looked at your raw deck, and I thought it was great. I thought it was really smart. I thought it was well constructed. I really liked it. So you really should check it out on Twitter at Sinbreed90. Very good. As a matter of fact, so I kind of segue a little bit off that because we're still on the gauntlet, but there will be, and Jithens has given me a chance to go ahead and put a little bit of stuff on Smite Prime's website, which if you haven't seen it yet, there is, if you haven't gone there, you should, www.smiteprime.com. There's going to be a Talk of the Gods section. So what we're going to try to do is put some articles on there from Sinbreed, myself, maybe Comcast, maybe Jethens even, I don't know, and maybe some deck ideas, things like that. So something we're thinking about launching, trademark soon. And it was my fault. Jithens gave me the access this week, but I just got swamped with work. But so if y'all want to see something like that, please let us know what you want to see on it, and if you want to be a part of that, obviously let us know. I love the Pauper Gauntlet. So the three we have is what? Pauper, Battle of the Gods, and
I believe the Pauper one just ended.
Oh no.
And we have Prodigal.
Prodigal?
I think. Yeah, where you only have rare, epics, and legendary cards.
There we go. So like exactly the opposite of Pauper. So you get a nice little sense of that. So what is your opinion on did you get 8 wins with Pauper?
No, I did not. I think I got 6 as the most with an aggro Norse list. But the thing is that everybody's playing aggro Norse, so it's really hard to get those 8 zeros. But
I tried
eventually.
I tried Egyptian and I got smashed by Norse. My thought process being that I could maybe sneak a couple wins in. I didn't. I got smashed like every time. I got like this awesome Norse deck just beat the brakes off me. Okay, so we're segueing off that. We're going from now finally the gauntlet. Unless you have anything you want to add to the gauntlet.
It's just amazing. That's all I have to say.
Best.
Great job, Hi-Rez.
Yes, I double down. Best game mode in any CCG I've played so far. I love it. Okay, so then we're going to we're entering Sinbreed Sanctum. So again, I'm gonna tee it up a little bit for Sinbreed. So what we wanted to do is Sinbreed's going to come up with topics every week. He's going to kind of dissect them and look at them and have a discussion. So if there's something you want to see on Sinbreed Sanctum or something you want him to look at, go ahead and hit him at Twitter at Sinbreed90. I feel like I'm really pimping your Twitter today. I feel like there's
Yeah,
some
man,
money.
I love it.
Right? I feel like there may be some money needs to exchange hands here. But go to Sinbreed90, give him some ideas. But Sinbreed, what do you have for us this week?
Well, I was hoping for like a jingle, something for defense, like into the segment or something, but I'm next week. Next week. So I wanted to talk today about like card changes, like the changes to Arachne and Agni. Basically, how Hi-Rez made them from semi-playable to like really, really good cards that you should run in your decks, and what other cards you might see soon or that I would like to see changed. So first up was Amusin Cub. Doesn't see any competitive play, and it has the same stats as a Venator. So you're going to play Venator over it. So I was actually like having a hard time with this to see what could you maybe change, or so it would still have the hives, because I think that's a very cool mechanic in the game. So I would see, yeah, so you can deploy the hives as usual, like globally, and Amusin Cub is still a 5/3, but it gets +1/+1 for each hive that is on the battlefield. Something
Ooh.
in the line of that. I think that would have been a good change.
That's actually very interesting. That would make that card. You have a great point because it does in a spot where you have Venerator. Venerator is really a 7/4. So
Yeah.
yeah. So okay, I like that change. +1/+1 for each one. Do you know what the stats of that card are by any chance before the +2 would be?
With it's a 5/3 and then goes to a 7/5.
7/5. So yeah, it'd be a little bit more playable than the 7/4. So I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. Next I had was Nike, and she did see a little play at the start when she came out, because there was a lot of spell heavy like Nuwa control and raw control decks running around at that time, and Norse was not really in the meta at that time as well. So I actually had this one I had even more trouble with, to be honest, because as I said before, I'm not huge into Smite, so I actually had to look up a video on her abilities, and I think I got a pretty good one. Uh, Basically, when you drop her down, you have a Warcry that she hits 2 tiles in front of her for 1 damage, and then disarms the unit that she hits, so they can't attack during the next turn until it's your turn again, basically.
Wow. Okay. So what you did is you went ahead and looked at the mythology of Nike, and then
Yeah.
you tried it. That was okay. I like it. So the disarm, is that just the unit she hits in that 2 space ahead, or is that a conal?
I was thinking like a 2 space in front of her, or towards like down or something like that. So, similar to how you aim with Anubis Warcry.
Okay.
Yeah, and then disarm it, like make a new keyword for it. I think it would be a good one. It wouldn't be that overpowered in my opinion, because you can pull your units back and stuff like that.
I'm trying to think. So it'd be like, I definitely like it. I don't know if 2 units would be, because I'm thinking of Ymir from Norse. He does stun whoever he attacks, so it's kind of like that synergizes with that. But maybe 2 with her body is a little too much.
Yeah, probably it's probably adjustment to the stats as well.
Yeah, but I think I like it. I like using them. Okay, cool. I like that.
Yeah, and I have a third one. So I really went deep with this one. So the third one was Vulcan, and this was pretty simple. He spawns a turret, and it's a random spawn. So usually, unless you're like have a little bit of luck, you don't have to pay 2 mana next turn to move it forward with your hero ability. So you just get to choose where you spawn it around Vulcan or around your summoning stone. I think that would be a good change to maybe put him back into the meta.
Hmm. I like that. That's interesting. So because he is the blacksmith, yeah, the forger of the gods. That's really interesting. So you could, so you can put him anywhere basically, or around him or around your summoning stone.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah. That's all I have today. So if you have any suggestions on what you want me to talk about, or give me any tips on what you might feel would be a funny segment or something like that, just send me a DM or add me on Twitter at Singrid90, and I'll check it out.
Sounds good. So, kind of staying in the sanctum for a little bit. Is there of the 15 cards that they released? You and I haven't had a chance to talk about it. The new 15. Can you get? And this is off the top of my head, so don't feel like you should. I hit you this blindsided. Give me the best card of the new 15, and give me the card that has absolutely no use in your opinion right now. Things can change, but right now the one that stands out and the one that doesn't stand out.
Okay, so the best one I would say is Artemis, just because she puts Zeus back into the game, and we did cast the Smite Prime weekly 4 yesterday, and there was a lot of Zeus decks, and they were doing well by Yenara, for example.
Yeah.
And the worst one, that's hard, man.
But what makes her so good? So she's bringing Zeus back into fashion, but why? And do you have to tailor a deck around her? Or does she just fit naturally into a Greek archetype?
I would say she fits pretty good as like the old ones, and like you might want to keep your curve a little higher, take away some of the 2-drops and put in maybe some 4s and maybe another really high drop like a 7 or 8.
Ares, maybe?
Yeah, definitely Ares. And what makes her great, I would say, is just she's so versatile. So you can say you put a 2, you flip a 2-drop like a Nemesis, and your opponent doesn't have anything to kill. Well, you can just put it under enemy summoning stone and use that as damage. And then I want to go back into another card that got released that's like perfect with her, is Shock and Awe. So you get a silence effect plus you trigger another Warcry. And I can say and tell you, I've got destroyed by this combo so much on the ranked ladder. Recently, it's nuts.
Yeah. Okay. So that was okay. So I when it first came out, I thought that was, matter of fact, Comcast and I had our first show was about the 15, and then we ran long. It was my fault because I thought there were so many great cards in there, and I think Shock and Awe and Artemis were definitely a great combo. But so if you're building a Greek deck now, normally almost every faction pantheon, excuse me, would you agree that everyone had to have at least 1 or 2 chaos spawns?
Before, basically, yes. Unless you were playing, I think Maya was the only one that could get away with not running it, just because of they had so many removals and
Okay.
the like barter soul to get them back. So that was the only one I think could not. I can afford not to run it. So
Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, and just want to quickly end on that. With Zeus, your hero power is very important for you to have as many gods as you can in your deck as well, unless it's not going to do anything.
That's a great point. Exactly right. And so I assume, at least when I made the decks, but I'm not at a higher level as most players. You would just take the 2 chaos spawns out and just shove in 2 Shock and Awes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I think that of the new cards that came out, that was one that number one I thought was amazingly is very powerful, and I thought that it could also go well in taking away those chaos spawns because I just don't like having a neutral card that doesn't really fit. Kind of, you have to have it in all these facts except for Mayan. Like, I don't know, it always felt like, man, they need to have more answers per pantheon. So here comes Shock and Awe. I thought it was great. I love Artemis. Thought that was great. The Hunt is phenomenal. Um, and so and then you didn't have a negative. You didn't have one card that kind of, in other words, is it because that there was no card that was bottom, and that they were all kind of good, or was it just that you just can't think of one that just was terrible?
I don't think there was any card that's unplayable that got released. I don't think at all. I haven't tried everything yet. I haven't really played around with the one that swaps health. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Oh
But
man. Oh, yeah, because Comcast was talking about that for like a combo with Greek, as a matter of fact, double health switch hit. I can't remember the
yeah,
name of it now. Oh, it's terrible.
yeah, we're both terrible. We need Comcast back, man.
I want to miss him. Miss his zaniness, whippersnapper. So, okay, so now I need to make some announcement. Matter of fact, Comcast is a good segue. So, as some of you may or may not know, that was really loud for my own ear. Hand of the Gods is doing a 24-hour channel. So they're going to have like casters come in and then stream, and they're going to post different casters 24 hours. Each caster gets a 3-hour block during the day. Are you familiar with that? Have you heard about that?
Yeah, it's similar to what we did before, I believe,
Okay.
for a couple of months ago, maybe.
Okay, so I'm kind of new, so I didn't. So everybody, they put it on Twitter, and everybody kind of threw in their names, and they picked people, and it was a huge honor for me. I just need to announce. I can't go into times because they're not really finalized yet. Huge honor for me that I am going to be on the Hand of the Gods channel, streaming for. I can't say the time because I don't know, but it was originally. It's a big honor. So regardless of the time, it's a huge honor. I can tell you what time it will be. I just don't know what days yet. It'll be 9 p.m. Central to midnight. So I have the late show. So like Johnny Carson, oh God, do you know who Johnny Carson is?
No,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, man, but
No,
congratulations on getting picked for that, man. It's a very fun to be a part of. I can tell you that.
Oh, awesome! I appreciate it. I guess I should have said, oh God, I can't think of his name. The host of doesn't matter. So yeah, so that's a huge honor. I'm very very proud to be a part of it. And you're gonna see people on Twitter if you get a chance. I don't want to announce people that are in it because that's their big moment. And so check Twitter for your favorite Hand of the God streamers. You'll see some announcements about they're in. I can say that there is another member of the well, not actually, I can say it, but it's got big news for us. I'm very excited to be a part of it, and you might want to check Comcast stream. That's all I'm going to say, or his Twitter feed for some news. I won't spoil anything there. Let's see. Yeah, so that was kind of huge. Now I also had some notes. So the dev stream was today, and by the way, it's my first dev stream I've watched. That sounds bad, but they're phenomenal. It was with Nash and Austin, and they were very very informative and had a lot of stuff I wanted to talk to you about. Now, for those of you that are on consoles, Xbox, I have some people that I've been talking to about watching the show that play Xbox. They did announce that they were going to start. They were been working diligently on fixing the issue. If you're familiar, Simri, are you familiar with what's going on with the Xbox?
Yeah, I saw some on Twitter about this. Unfortunately, I haven't watched the dev show yet. I will actually do that as soon as we're done here.
Not a problem. I took notes for both of us. So good. The Xbox, they've been dropping games, and they said they are been. Actually, Adonis came on for a special announcement. Adonis, you may remember as our guest host, our guest star on episode 2. Probably don't know him any other way than that, but he was episode 2's guest star. He came on and said basically they've been working on it. They should have a fix hopefully by the end of the weekend. They're hoping for, they're gunning for it. So I thought that was important to announce here on Talk of the Gods for our millions and millions of fans at home.
Can I just intervene with one other thing I saw on, because I play on the PS4, and I saw the other day on Twitter that they are also looking into when you're in queue, it kicks you out on the queue and you have to wait a bit before you can re-queue. I saw that they said that they were trying to fix that as well.
That's interesting. So I play on the I am a sick individual. I play on the PC, the Xbox One, and the PS4. And it's a perfect segue because I don't think Comcast plays on a console. What do you think of the console experience on Hand of the Gods?
I have to say I'm really surprised on how good it is, because it felt for me like it would be very very difficult to put in everything on such limited button using, and like how basically everything would like pan out, and it feels so natural for every key to be on. Like you want to look at the log, you press like the triangle, for example, and stuff like that. I think they did a great job, and yeah, props to the Hi-Rez team.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's phenomenal. I like the fact you hit left trigger to pull up your hand. You get the yellow button or the Y button or the triangle, depending on your console, to pull up the log. Like you said, everything flows really well. The one thing I can say that was like, I don't know if, and again, still kind of new. They added that great tutorial. Well, it's not a great. They added a tutorial to it. And I just want to say, I want to see how the story ends. Am I the only one?
No, I wanted. They had that tutorial in a while ago as well on the PC, and it's like, wait, this is just gonna end? I want
Right?
to give me a campaign or something. Like, give me a story mode. I wanted to really, really play and see how it goes for Zeus and everything.
It was phenomenal. Like it was just this kind of throwaway for the tutorial, but in Ra, Zeus, Aphrodite, I believe, was in it.
Athene, I think it
Athena,
was.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
and then Arachne was in it. It's just kind of cool story, and it's like and done. And I'll be honest with you, I got emotionally invested in the story.
Yeah, same here. It was the first time I played it, and it's like, okay, I want to go to the next one. Wait, there is no more?
Right,
Come on, Hi-Rez.
right, right. I was like, oh man, that was a good, like, just please do more. Matter of fact, I was on the dev stream, not on it, but I was watching the dev stream, and I was trying to get in, like, can you continue the story? But then I was also working, stupid work, and so I got pulled away before they said, hey, ask questions, and I didn't get a chance to ask them, hey, kind of more stories, please. But they did say, Hi-Rez Austin did say that they are working on, there's three things they're working on. That's soon, but they need to get everything's stronger. A 2v2 mode, which would be amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. And PVE, which is I guess the campaigner stories. So those two things they're working on, and then brings to the next one. UI changes. Somebody asked on stream, "Are y'all? We want to get more into the action." And then last night, Adonis posted a picture. Do you see that of UI changes?
No, unfortunately, I missed that.
And look at
Yeah.
me, I'm plugged in, baby. I am so
Yeah.
plugged into this. So I'm like, the sad thing is I'm at work doing all this prep. So anyway, um,
What we won't tell your boss. So.
yeah, they don't care. Anyway, so he released basically coming on this next patch. I believe if they get everything right. By the way, a chicken is driving me crazy. My beautiful fiance started cooking, and I'm about to start salivating. So I apologize. Um, Basically you can zoom in, or I don't know if there's an option yet or it's just automatically going to zoom in, but you zoom in and see everything much closer. If you haven't got a chance, go to at Hi-Rez Adonis and check out his UI interface shot from last night. Very cool stuff.
Then I would see like streamers use that for like intros and like for YouTube stuff. That's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, yeah, like Jethans, who everybody knows, Smite Prime's the big boss. He is gonna do he's gonna help me do my layout for my show on Hand of the Gods, and so I mean I don't know what magic he can work out. I'm putting him under the pressure here, but hopefully something amazing. And but anyway, go next one. So yeah, the 2v2. I don't know. Okay, so as some of you may know, I'm very old, and I have a son who's 20, so that gets you an idea how old I am. But I have wanted to play 2v2 forever, just forever to get him into. He plays the game as well. So 2v2, two-headed giant, as it was called in Magic. Oh, you play Magic?
Yeah.
I think it'd be amazing. But the question is, how could you pull that off? Because you have
Yeah.
a cat attacking me, but you have like if somebody's going the second person, I don't know. I don't know logistically how they're going to be able to work that out.
Well, the funny thing is, like maybe 4 months ago or something like that, Kenneth and I think it was Chrono or someone else. I'm sorry if I don't remember your name, but they were actually working on a website like how to play 2v2, like way back. I'm really excited to see
Really?
actually how much they took from what they were testing.
Okay, very cool. I'm very excited about it. And also, they said, somebody asked them for future plans. Are they going to do a handheld version? People might be interested in tablets, or they said they They want to at some point, which is good because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, here we go," at some point. But that's huge for a developer because trust me, if it wasn't in the plans or a thought process, they would tell you this will not come to this.
Yeah, exactly.
They would tell you this high res is from what I have seen, what I've had experience. They're very very straightforward. They would tell you, and so there's a possibility. Um, and then we wanted to go into. Sorry, my eyes just went completely off there. Um, as some of you know, kind of a hard segue. Apologize. I went blind for a second. Some of you know. Do you know what tomorrow is, Sinbreed?
No, please enlighten me.
Right. Tomorrow is high res qualifier number 1. Huge, huge, huge tournament. Now, this is where I yield to you, my good friend. Tell us what is high res qualifier number 1. I'm sure people still know, and what it leads to.
So basically, all these qualifiers are for Hi-Res Expo. So if you win one of these qualifiers, you get to go to Atlanta, play in the big tournament for Hand of the Gods. And the fun thing also about this is it's a double elimination bracket. So we at the Smite Primecast are going to be casting the lower bracket at the same time as the normal or the higher bracket are going to be casted by Hi-Res TV, I believe. So very excited to start casting with the big boys and a big tournament.
It's a huge honor. It is just an absolute huge honor. So Smite Prime, exactly. We get to cast the lower bracket, so it'll be Sinbreed, it'll be myself, it'll be Comcast. He'll be back from assignment. It'll be well, I don't know if I can. If Jithin's, could you type? Yeah, okay. So it'll be Cute Noob 18. She'll be on the show. RM Lightning will be there. We have some familiar faces that are coming back that I'm too old to remember their names, but uh, yeah. So here's the thing. So Jithin's is very professional talking my ear, but I'm very old and can't hear. If you mind typing that, I could. Now I'm sorry, kind of talking to Jithin's, but also through you. I'm old, so I'll announce everybody here in a second. So we're gonna be doing it, and then okay, here we go. We got Illy is back. Big news. Srixis is back. It'll be on the show with us. Kenny will be there. So we added a huge cast to be there with Sinbreed, myself, Comcast, Cute Noob, RM Lightning, and those are the new people. So we have what? That's 8 of us, right?
Yeah, I believe so. And it's really fun to have Illy and Strixis back. Well, Strixis kind of bailed on us earlier this year by going and work for some company called Hi-Res. I don't know why, but yeah. And Illy's, I think he's been just sworn with college or something like that. So it's going to be so nice to have them back and just cast with them again.
And I cannot say this enough. I cannot say this enough. For everybody watching, everybody's going to watch this weekend, please subscribe if you get a chance. Get some cool emote. You get a chance to get a part of all the action. Go to Smite Prime website. Jithin's works his tail off. I promise you. I've never been more impressed with somebody behind the scenes than with Jithin. So show some love, please. And then, so we have the qualifiers coming up. We have qualifier number 1 is Saturday. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Qualifier 2 is Sunday, or is it all qualifier 1 this weekend? Okay. So qualifier 1 is Saturday. Qualifier 2 is Sunday, which means it's going to be a long day.
Yeah, definitely. But it's good because we're 8 people, so we're going to be able to just cast a easy set. Then another people are going to take over. It's going to be a lot of fun, and probably gonna get to cast with some new people. I don't believe you casted with like RML yet or Cute Noob, right?
I have not. Yes, and so behind the scenes, pulling back the curtain, there's always like a quote unquote a host or a person that calls the action, and then there's a color, which they used to call in the industry like a adding flavor to the show. If you look at sports, or whatever. So generally, you're gonna have mix and matches of those roles, which would be really fun. I hope to be with Comcast, my partner, with Sinbreed, my partner, new people. I can't wait to try. The dynamics will be fun. It'll be off the cuff, be fun. And it's only on Smite Prime, the lower brackets, feeding into the Big Daddy. I don't know if it's High Res TV or Hand of the Gods TV. So one of those is going to get the big one. So okay. So we're talking about the qualifiers. There's 6 of them, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
So 6 of them. So six of them will go and get the winners of these. Will get their tickets. It's on if you don't follow Play HOTG on Twitter. They've announced it, but you get a chance to go to Atlanta, and you get a chance. They pay everything, and you get to go and compete in this $50,000 tournament. Doesn't get much better than that. So all I got to do is win one of these 6, and then I think they have or one of these 5, I believe. And there's a 6th one with one of the 6. You get your ticket punched. If you had to guess, and I've always wanted to ask you this, I seriously have. If you were in this, I don't know if are you going to be in it? First of all, let me ask you, right? Are you going to be in it?
No, I'm not going to compete. I might join the open bracket because I am going to HRX. So if you're going and you see me on the floor, come and say hi. I don't bite or anything like that. I'm a really nice guy, I promise.
He is a very nice guy.
Yeah.
So okay, so there's an open qualifier at the actual expo. I think, as a matter of fact, Comcast is gonna. He said he was gonna do it. You're gonna be there. I am not gonna be there unless something drastically changes, but I don't think it will be. But hopefully, maybe what I'm thinking of is maybe doing a Talk of the Gods episode at the show. Be amazing.
Oh yeah, I would love to do
wouldn't
that.
that be cool? I mean,
yeah,
y'all are there, and then I can just cry here, and then we can you can talk me through my grief, I guess, is what I'm going for. So if you were so you're going to it. What pantheons would you bring? What
for
are the
tomorrow.
rules? How many pantheons can you bring? No, it's for the open qualifier.
Okay. To the qualifiers, if I wasn't going, I don't know yet because it's in January, so a lot of things are going to change with all the pantheons. But if I would play tomorrow, I would probably bring probably Hindu, Egyptian, and Chinese, I would think.
You bring 4.
Yeah. So. And probably Zeus as my last one.
So Hindu, Chinese, Egyptian, and Zeus. So you left out Norse?
Yeah, for those who know me, I do not play Norse. I do not like playing Norse. I never have. Unless it was OTK Loki, that was fun for me. I don't know why, but yeah. And the other one I left out is Mayan.
Mayan. Okay, so 2 of the more popular ones, correct? If I'm.
Well, Mayan has seen a decrease now with the changes to some of the cards in their pantheon. I think it's very strong still. You can still play the token style. I've been playing a bit on ladder and doing decently, but I think it has too many bad matchups for it to be really viable.
Okay, so those 4. So you've left out Mayan and Odin. Excuse me, Greek and Mayan. Not Greek. I'm sorry, Norse and Mayan. Jeez, I'm sorry. So. And it could change. You're right. That was yes. So by the time it's on January 4th through the 7th, right? Hi-Rez Expo?
Yeah.
So a lot can change in that time. I'm sure we're going to see at least 2 patches, I believe. And matter of fact, they hinted at in the dev stream, kind of harkening back to that there'd be 2 gods that for sure were coming by patch 2.4. And one of them was Kronos.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting to see how they managed to do his war cry or whatever he's going to have.
Yeah, he could be pretty crazy. And then the other one was a Chinese pantheon, and I cannot remember the god's name. I kind of remember, but I don't want to butcher it. So it's one of those things where I don't want to say something and be completely crazy. And then do you know who the next pantheon is going to be?
It was the Japanese pantheon, right?
You're right. So I didn't break any news.
Okay.
Yeah. So Japanese pantheon is the next pantheon coming, which was funny to ask that question because really we're still in the middle of discovering all the joys that is Hindu. So
yeah,
still kind of early to talk about the next pantheon. But okay, so we're back to the qualifiers. So you bring those 4. Now, playing on ladder and playing in tournaments, 2 different things, correct?
Very, very different. Yes.
So if you're going to give advice to any of these contestants in the qualifiers tomorrow, this weekend, the next weekend, the next weekend, the next weekend, leading up to Atlanta, what would you say? How should they prepare?
Well, that is a very difficult question because
Well, thank you. I
but like there's different kind of styles you can do. Just play a lot, or then you can scream a lot, and yeah, like. But you can also go for a more like silver bullet strategy. So, for what I would do is basically bring out like a goofy deck that's going to be very, very good against a specific pantheon that's very, very popular. Say Raw is like the flavor. You see it all by like the pot pie if you play him on the ladder, stuff like that. So you can bring out like one specific deck that's just targeting Raw, for example. And if your opponent doesn't bring any Egyptians, you like leave that out and you play with it to very solid list that you have instead.
Okay. So would you? So Ra is the one that you think is the more dominant. The pantheon you need to tech against the most.
Right now, I would say Hindu and Norse are probably the ones you want to tech against.
Okay, so you're saying put a specific deck for Ra, and then tech against Norse and Hindu.
No, sorry, this is my bad. I just took Raw as an example, but
Oh,
for tomorrow, I would think that we're gonna see a lot of Hindu and a lot of Odin
oh yeah.
showing up.
So Hindu, what kind of Hindu decks? Control.
Yeah, but one thing is that Aspect of Life is banned, I believe, in the tournament tomorrow as
It
well.
is
So,
very
so
important announcement. Yes.
yeah, so you cannot do what I did. You go turn 1 Fire Giant, turn 3 Dispatch, turn 4 play Fire Giant again.
So it doesn't work, is what you're saying.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, that'd be a little broken. And again, I don't. Do we know what time the action starts tomorrow? We'll have to research that. I know it's for Smite Prime. Will be announcements on if you go to the Twitter or the website. I'm sure there'll be announcements about when we start. Obviously, we wouldn't start right away because we have the bottom bracket. So, you would go immediately to Hand of the Gods or High Res channel and look at the action there, and then they would start filling us with contestants to then shoutcast. So obviously you go there first, and then you can follow up. It's really cool. I mean, you have two different vantage points, in my opinion. Both are exciting to watch. I'd rather watch the bottom brackets. I like to watch Street Fighter. I don't play it. I like to watch it. It's weird. I like to watch the elimination side because I know that it's serious.
Yeah, I'm the same actually, but for some reason, I started watching Tekken. I don't know
Okay.
why. I do not play Tekken. I'm
Right.
never been good at it, but for some reason, right now I was like, "Oh, Tekken is streaming." I was like, I just watched that, and yeah, and like just seeing the emotions, and like
Yes.
you're really under pressure, and you can really see like if like the Baconators and C4s and stuff like that, are they going to be able to play under this pressure to know that they are missing out on a qualification spot if they misplay this match and stuff like that? So it's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be something that I mean, by all means, please watch the Hand of the Gods channel and watch both if you can. Just get two TVs, put them on, just enjoy the whole thing. Hit them, maybe one on a computer, maybe open up two browsers, just watching both Hand of the Gods, just in stereo, be amazing. I can't. I'm old. I'm thinking two TVs. You have a computer. Anyway, sorry, old. Um, so I think, is there anything you want to say about the high res qualifiers that we haven't hit on yet? Is there anything like some advice for anything that we haven't touched on the high res qualifiers starting tomorrow?
No, I think we got the most. It's just like for the contestant, just stay focused, be sure you're on time. That's very
Yes,
important. And send in your deck list.
there is a. He said deck list, by the way, for the Comcast fans out there. As a subtle joke. Um, uh, you do want to go to Hand of the Gods. There is a Discord for the tournament. There's a Discord for the game itself, and then tournament scene. Subscribe to both. They constantly update it. Again, a shout out to Nash, Hi-Rez Nash. Awesome. He's always on top of that kind of stuff. So, kind of check that out. I think that's kind of where we can go. So let's wrap this baby up. It's your first show. I think you did phenomenal.
Thank you. You were a great host.
I appreciate that. I try. What do you take away? Let's start from the beginning. What is your takeaway from the show today? Let's just a broad general sense.
Well, I think it's just very good to watch if you just want something to listen to while you cook or while you eat, or if you just want to be very informed on what's happening. I think it's just an all-around very good show. It appeals to everybody that's interested in Hand of the Gods or just want to listen to people talk about stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I was more referring to how your stuff, but that's good. I mean, yes, thank you. No,
okay.
no, it's great. Look, that was amazing. I want to cut that and put it as a commercial. But Sin Breed Sanctum. Have you already started to germinate ideas for the next show? Do you have a direction you're looking at? I really like the three gods two. Yeah, all three were gods that you brought into under the microscope. I really like Nike. I really like Vulcan. And I can't remember the first one.
Amazon Cup.
Yeah, see, I'm not gonna try to pronounce that name. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's called AMC. I think that's what people are do.
AMC. So I really like the three that you put under the microscope. I really like Sin Breed Sanctum. I think it's gonna be a good addition. The dev stream I think went really well. I think we're ready for Hi-Rez qualifiers. And this is your first time going to Hi-Rez Expo, correct?
Yeah, I really want to go last year, but unfortunately I did not qualify with the Paladin scene. So this time I'm going to go there and meet up with them at least. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
And you're from Arkansas, right? You're pretty close.
No.
No?
I'm from Sweden. So that is like a 16-hour flight to get there. So
hold on. I'm detecting. Are you sure you're from Sweden? Because your accent, very Arkansas-ish.
Actually, my English teacher told me I have an American accent. I don't know why.
Yeah, I can pick that up. Arkansas, Kentucky, somewhere around there. So you're 16. Oh my god, 16-hour flight.
Yeah,
that's dedication.
Yeah, but I want to see everybody, and I think it's gonna be an awesome opportunity for everybody that's go there just to see how Hi-Rez works and everything like that. I was at DreamHack when they were with the Paladins and Smite at DreamHack Sweden at the summer, and that was amazing. Just hang out with everybody, and I just want to do that again.
Oh yeah, look, I was just I mean, 16 hours is well worth it because you're gonna have an amazing experience. I wish I could go next year. I'm gonna go. I just know it. It's gonna be great to see. I mean, unfortunately for you, you're gonna meet Comcast, and I say unfortunately for you because I don't know where that journey is gonna lead you.
Yeah, I might just shake his hand and then try to avoid him all the rest of the days. I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting to see how it pans out.
I'm just gonna say keyword penicillin. Leave it there. I'm gonna just let it out there and just that's the main thing. Of course, I'm kidding. I love you, Comcast. I think the show's gonna be great. So when you go, you're gonna go for Hand of the Gods. You're gonna go for Paladins too. You still play Paladins?
Yeah, on a small amount. Yeah, but yes, casuals. But I still have people that I talk to sometimes over there that's probably going. Their qualifiers hasn't started yet either, so I'm probably gonna follow that scene as well. But I'm mostly gonna be on the Hand of the Gods area, I would think.
So it's time to pay the bills a little bit. So we're gonna kind of wrap it up. That was the show, but don't leave because there's important announcements here coming. I just want to thank again. I always do this. I'd like to thank Jithens for putting this all together and putting up with me, more importantly, because I bother him constantly. I want to thank Sin Breed for being a part of the show and filling in for Comcast as co-host. And thank Comcast for being there, being a good friend on Twitter and in general. And I want to thank Hand of the Gods for putting up with me, Nash, Adonis specifically, great people. And I want to thank Smite Prime. Listen, seriously, hit that follow button. It's the heart. You want to click on it, and and there's also a subscribe thing. It's $5, well worth it, because you're getting literally this month. If there's time to subscribe, it would be this month, and then all the ones after, but specifically starting this month, because you get all the tournament action. And Jithens needs help. Let's just show some love for the man. He does everything for you. He's like Santa Claus, but even more generous with his time. So thank you for everybody watching and watches it on YouTube. And I would like to give it over now to Mr. Sinbreed for his denouement.
Yes. So as Shiva said, amazing host. You should follow him. Definitely follow him on Twitter, guys. Be sure to do that. You can also follow me over at Simbreed90, as we said probably like 20 times today.
Yeah.
And yeah, special thanks to Yiffins. Like, yeah, he's amazing. Hashtag love Yiffins and hashtag blame Adonis. Keep those trending. Yeah, I don't think I have anything more to say. Like, thank you everybody for watching.
Yes, and that'll do it. I mean, that's the end of the show. We will be back, and so the schedule has changed. We are normally every Sunday night, but because of the high-res qualifiers, we are going to be every Friday, which is today, and then next week. But then next week we'll recap the tournament. I have a lot of cool stuff for you. So every Friday here on Smite Prime, only on Smite Prime, and I hope to have some content on the website this week. Running close to the end of time here, so check on SmitePrime.com. There'll be hopefully some content. If there's not, it's me. Hashtag blame me, not Jithens. And it's a pleasure doing this. I ended a little early tonight. The weather's kind of bad, so it's amazing I made it this far. Hopefully, I'm not a pixelated FBI witness in this week's show. Because have you seen that? Okay, so I look horrible, and I mean in general, but pixelized I look even worse. So thank y'all for watching.
No.
I appreciate that. And I am Shifu of the Cards. I don't even introduce myself. At Shifu of the Cards on Twitter. Y'all have a great day. Follow Smite Prime. Subscribe. Love you.